What's up, everybody? So today I'm gonna take a little bit and kind of go off of what I normally do here, and we're gonna talk about Gibson because just saw, I guess, a pretty disturbing video, and it just seems like it just keeps rolling. I didn't want to talk about Gibson, I really didn't, because everybody's talking about Gibson and everybody, but it's not everybody's fault. It's Gibson's fault. It really is. Like, they just kept giving reasons for people to talk about them, and in typically like a negative manner too. So let's get into it. Okay, so we'll start back in 2000, and we'll start like a year ago. Let's go there. We'll start a year ago. So about a year ago, Gibson was looking at bankruptcy because they weren't selling guitars. And the reason they weren't selling guitars is because their marketing technique was really kind of screwy. The way I understood it is they weren't looking at selling their guitars to guitar players. They were looking at selling their guitars to guitar distributing stores. And so they had worked out these big multi-million-dollar deal, or I don't know how many dollars it was, but lots of dollars. We'll just say lots of dollars with companies, big companies like Guitar Center and such. And so the problem that created is, like, Gibson wasn't able to sell guitar like if you're a mom and pop guitar shop, you're not selling Gibsons, period. And so I think their marketing strategy left a lot to be desired, especially being a guitar player. So there was that, and then there was the CEO at the time was really trying to like forge paths forward with his guitars. He came out with the Firebird X, which is like #1 world's most hated guitar. We're gonna get into that in a little bit because that comes back up. And then the Robo tuners. So there's like Robo tuners on. He started putting Robo tuners on his Les Pauls and the SGs and all that, which just it's not something people like, really. I don't really know the exact reason. I've never actually held one in my hands. I've never tried to use a Robo tuner. I've talked to literally no one who has used a Robo tuner before, but I've heard other people talking about why other people hate Robo tuners. I guess it's silly. Basically, the way it works is you set it and you can strum it, and the tuners just take care of the rest. They just tune you up. And so, but see, I had an instructor, a Berkeley instructor, tell me that he had a friend who had a Robo tuner and was at a set and accidentally set it, and like right as the song started, he like strummed the chord and like it like retuned it to like a weird voicing that was off, and he didn't know how to play it. So immediately took the Robo tuners off, and I think upgraded to some good old-fashioned Colsons. But yeah, so there's that. There's the headstock issue. Gibson headstocks have a tendency to break. It's because they have a huge angle. So I think they're like a 17 to 15 degree angle on the headstock, and it's like it's a weak scarf joint. So it's like it's like one piece of wood glued this way and another piece of wood glued this way. And so any kind of pressure to and forward would just snap them right off. And so that's another issue. Gibson was looking. There's just a bunch of small things Gibson had going wrong for it. And so they got out of the whole bankruptcy problem last year at the end of the year by hiring on a new CEO. His name was JC, and he used to be, I think, the CEO for like Levi's. And so he was really, and he helped Levi's like rebrand their stuff, and so I guess he was really good with rebranding. So I think that was their goal. But then they also hired this guy Mark Agnesi, who is their marketing guy, and that's was the first thing that really kind of bit him in the dick. What they did next was, and I'll put up some video footage of this Mark Agnesi guy. He went out and he told basically the guitar community, and I'm talking to everybody, like he sent out, they posted this YouTube video on their Gibson channel. Mark Agnesi basically threatens everybody who uses it, who uses a Gibson, or who is a guitar builder who builds guitars like Gibsons. So like the way it sounded, it looked like he was threatening everybody, not just like guys who build guitars in their basement, to international corporations that build guitars that look like theirs, to even people who were playing, better catch on, yeah, even people who were playing Gibsons, and like posting videos, but like taping up the headstocks, like, so even like people who were using their instruments. Yeah, it was stupid. It was really dumb, and nobody liked it. And they immediately pulled it down, and I managed to get some footage of some guy. I guess he like camcorded it and then uploaded it because the audio on it's all screwy. Right, okay, so then what they do is they decide they're going to make sure I get my timeline all right, because it's all coming off the top of my head. Oh yeah, they like filed, next thing they did is they filed like 7 lawsuits against another guitar company called Dean Guitars, and they were making it wasn't Les Pauls, it was Flying V style guitars for something like 40 or 50 years. So like they've been doing this since like the 60s. Dean has, and so it's not anything new. So like they've had an entire lifetime to figure this out and, you know, claim their copyright or whatever, or their trademark. And so anyway, so they did that. It was like 7 different lawsuits. So it's a ridiculous case. You can tell that they were just trying everything they could. And then they also tried to file a trademark lawsuit in Europe over their Flying V shape that they ended up losing after that. And then based on the fact that it just took them way too long, and there were just so many people building guitars like that, so they lost that one. And then, yeah, just recently they decided they're going to so they shut down, I believe it was the Memphis factory, and when they shut it down, they had to destroy a bunch of guitars. And that Firebird X, remember I said earlier, the world's most hated guitar. So they laid out all these Firebird X's, about 300 to 400 Firebird X's, and then they ran them over with a damn excavator. It was a small excavator compared to the ones that I've seen and operated, but it's still an excavator. And they ran it over, and man, oh, it's such a heartbreaking video. Yeah, I never really wanted that guitar, but at the same time, it's like, it's still a guitar. And from what I understand, they actually played really well. It's just like the electronics were out there. They were pretty interesting. If y'all watch this guy Trogley's channel, y'all, he did a pretty good breakdown where he actually counted all the guitars and everything, and man, but he did a review of the Firebird X. I think he had like 2 of them at some point in his possession, and so he did a full review of the Firebird X. It's the only person I know who's ever played one, or I know of that's ever played one. So he was saying that he thinks that there was only about 600 or 700 to maybe 1,000 in production, so they wiped out like 30 to 40% of the entire population of this guitar. So if you have one, if you do have a Firebird X, odds are it's going to be worth a little bit more money. So yeah, probably a lot more money, because you could say it's like the one that made it. But yeah, anyways, so here they are back in the news. Everybody's mad at them because they could have donated these. They could have done like a tax write-off. They could have done a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. They could have gave them away to like starving children or something. Like it's ridiculous. They've got to stop. They just need to stop and just let what they have out there just sell, and then just keep making normal stuff and stop destroying guitars and destroying your social media presence. Oh, there were some good memes out of that Gibson Play Authentic though. Well, all right, that's all I want to talk about Gibson. So see you guys next time. I think I'm gonna do more of this commentary style stuff in the future, less of the builds. But yeah, let me know if there's anything y'all want to hear about in particular in the music world that you think I might be knowledgeable about, and I will make a video for you. Peace out, guys. See y'all later.